Amanda here. Thank you so much for joining me. So today I'm going to share one tag 3 different ways. So you can use whatever you want. You don't have to use the same images I'm using. You could make these out of anything. It's 3 different principles that I'm sharing with you. Okay, so I'm using this sheet which comes from my Shabby Rose collection. Available over on my Ko-fi to my members, and I made these tall skinny tags, and the idea was that there was bookmarks. So I'm going to share a very simple way of doing a bookmark, and then I'm going to share another 2 versions, giving you 3 different ideas of what you can do with these. As I say, you can follow along using what you've got at home, using the same principles. So we're going to do a very simple one, okay, that anybody could do, even if you're brand new, never crafted in your life. Then we're going to do a what I call medium level. Okay, just takes a little bit more. Now, so if you were brand new, then you might need to follow along. And then the third one is just slightly more stepped up. None of them are difficult. None of them are like, need to go in the tape gallery. But it's 3 different ways, going from very easy, and then probably easy, and then just slightly harder, but not much. I think you get what I mean. We're just going to use one tag and step it up 3 different ways. So let's get crafting. Off we go. Okay, so we're going to start with the easy one. Okay, and then we'll progress. So I'm going to choose my bookmark. I've cut everything out and I've also cut out the embellishments from the collection. Okay, so let me decide. So for the easy one, I'm going to use this one, which has already got a label on it. So all we need to do here is, first of all, we're going to punch a hole using whatever you've got. Okay, if you don't have a special tool, you can just use something sharp and poke a hole, cushion it underneath with something soft. All right, and then I'm going to set an eyelet. If you don't have eyelets, you can use the paper ring enforcers, or you can just leave it plain. It's not essential, it's just extra aesthetics. You don't have to use them, okay? It doesn't make any difference, just looks pretty. So we've set that. All right, and then we've got our circles and words and our butterflies. So I've fussy cut my butterflies out, and I've tied, just wrapped around and tied in a knot, some of this eyelash trim. Okay, ignore the crafter's bandage. I'll have to be careful how I show you that. I nipped myself with these scissors and it just won't stop bleeding. But I've got work to do. So I'm going to pick one of the circles, and this time I'm using the smaller hole on my crocodile. Okay, and I'm just going to punch a little hole in there. I'm going to punch a little hole in one of the corner of the wings. Let me get that, just get that out. Get out. Okay, just make sure that it's far enough on that. See, that's a little bit too close to the wing, but we'll get away with it. Make sure it's a bit further on, and then in one of the words. Oops, again, make sure you're not too close to the edge. And then all you need is one of these. If you're searching for these, they're called bulb pins because they're like a bulb at the bottom, or garment pins. Okay, you can get them on all over the place. AliExpress, probably. I don't know if you can get them on Temu. And then I think I'm going to have the butterfly, then the word, then the circle. Okay, and there you've got an immediate charm. Or you could maybe have the word over the top, shall we? Word, butterfly. Bit tricky with my crafter's bandage on. It's sticking to everything. Butterfly, circle, and then we can just pop that in there, and we've got ourselves a very, very easy. Oh, my butterflies fallen off because my hole is too close to the edge. So let's just do it again on the other side. Make sure you leave yourself plenty of room, which I have not. Okay, a bit further on this time. There we go. Okay, let's try again. So we're having word, butterfly and circle. Okay, and then attach it to the top. And that's the easiest, quickest. Anybody can do that. Okay, you don't need any special skills. Anybody can do that. Cute little layered charm on your bookmark. You've got your label there. You can use it as a bookmark or a long skinny tag. So let's do version 2. So version 2 is a little bit more stepped up, but it's still quite simple. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to chop it down. Okay, so these measure 6. So if I cut it, what do they measure? These measure, they measure 7 3/4. So I'm just going to cut it down at about, where shall I cut it to? I'll cut it to 3. Is that going to be all right? Yep, okay. Maybe I should have done it at 2. I'm just going to trim a bit off. I think that's a little bit large. Okay. All right. And then we can just re-ink that. If you've got a fancy punch that'll do a fancy shape, you can do a notch in there. Or you can use a circle punch. Have I got one? Let me have a look. Have I got one to hand? I'm trying not to mess about so that the video's a bit quicker. So I'm just going to use one of my circle punches. I'm going to centralise it and I'm just going to take a little notch. Okay. Right. And then I'll ink the bottom of that one. Then you can get your glue and very, very fine bead of glue up the side. Very fine. Okay. And very fine there. My hand-eye coordination's shocking. I am sorry. And then if you layer that up, you've got yourself a little pocket tag. Okay. I just get it straight. Okay. There we go. Then you can get one of the decorative pages that's in the collection and you can trim it down. So let's see what this measures because I blinked and I forgot. So it measures 2 3/8. So I'm going to cut it to about, I'm just going to cut it to 2 because we've glued straight on there, you see, we're not going to get the full depth of the pocket. If you want the full depth of the pocket, you'll have to create some kind of tabs. Let's have a look. Okay, so if I do it this way, so 2. All right, and then how tall do I want it? I want it about there. So we're doing this by eye now. Oops, my bar's cut. I'm having one of those days where everything I touch goes wrong. Where everything I touch goes wrong. I've cut my finger. I did my butterfly too close to the wing. It's just going to be one of those days. But carry on we shall. Because we don't give up in Amanda land. Okay, and then I'm just going to grab my little tab punch. I think that's going to be a little bit on the large side. I don't like that. So, see how it's a little bit deep there? So how I'm going to rectify that is I'm just going to chop the top off to make it a little bit more. There we go. See? That's a bit more aesthetically pleasing on my eye. Okay. And then I can do this. And I've got a little tag to go in here. Okay. And that should go in if I've not glued it too tight. I just prise it open a right little bit. And that will slide in there now. Okay, so I've got a little tag pocket. Okay, and then what we can do is, I've got these little belly bands, which are part of my collection, and I've printed these 2 to a page to make them much smaller. Okay, they're a lot bigger than this in real life. And what we can do is we can assess where the middle is, which is about there. Okay, just wrap that around like so to create our tabs, and then where it folds like so, or you can just glue it all the way around. It depends if you're going to stick it to a journal or whether it's going to be free floating, as it were. We can quickly ink that. Just check that I've got my dimensions right, and I have. And then I can put some glue on these tabs. Okay. I can stick that in the middle, and I've got a little tag pocket there. Okay, that's lovely. And then shall I put a butterfly up here or up here? I think I'll have it there. Let's have a look what other butterfly. Oh, I've got this one as well, which is just a little bit more pink. Bit more pink. I think we'll have that one. So I'm going to add my butterfly onto my smaller tag there. Okay. And then again here I can punch a hole. And either add an eyelet or some of this eyelash trim. Let's see if I can do this, because it's quite challenging to get hold of this stuff if you've got hand-eye coordination problems like I do. Okay, so I'm just going to tie this in a knot. All right, and then if I want it in a bow, I'm just going to turn it upside down and turn it in a bow. Tie it in a bow, I beg your pardon. Okay. Not the easiest thing to tie, isn't eyelash trim, unless that's just me. I don't know if anybody else struggles. If you do, leave me a comment so I don't feel like I'm the only loony in town. Okay, and then you can get one of these little things and you can attach that just to the bottom. Okay, which then holds this kind of pocket kind of shut if you centralize it. Okay, and then with your little leftovers you can put little doofers in there. So what I have actually got here are some little mini envelopes. Okay, now this is a die, or you can make them on your envelope punch board, or if you've got a mini envelope punch board, have a look what you've got. You can always just fold a square piece of paper into an envelope shape and make a fake envelope. It doesn't really matter. Okay, all right, and then that should just slip in there like that, like so. You could put a little card in it, you could have it like that, little envelope. Okay, or you can stick it in, put one of these butterflies hanging out and put it in like that. Oh, it's a bit much, that, isn't it? A bit too much going on there. I think I'm going to use it as a little envelope there, like that. And then I think I'll just grab from the side of me here, I've just got some little labels from one of my other collections. And I can just put some little labels in there, like that. That one goes that way. Okay, and then this belly band is now like a little tiny tuck spot, and you've got some tiny little things to look at. Okay, so that's the second one. So we've now got our really easy one, and then maybe intermediate, we've turned it into a pocket, and now we're going to do a slightly more decorative one. So I'm just going to get myself ready and then I'll be back. Okay, so for our third tag, the first thing I'm going to do, I've just got my plain tag here. I did print on both sides of mine and I re-inked. So what we're going to do first of all is just grabbing a very simple doilet, and I'm just going to tack tiny bits of glue where there's loads of spaces. Okay, you want to use a fast drying glue when you're working with doilies. Don't use glue stick, or well, you could use glue stick, but not a very wet PVA glue, because they'll just go to mush. They're very thin and they're very dainty. Okay, so you just want to get it so it's tacked down. Okay, you can always, if you feel like it needs a bit more after you've added your other layers, you can always, you know, just peel it up and add a bit more. Okay, so I feel like that's enough. And this large doilet I know will just wrap around. So I'm going to centralise it, okay. Rather than cut it off, I'm going to wrap it around the back. So it's all the way on the tag on both sides, and then you've got that decoration on both sides then, okay. All right, and I'm just going to very gently use my bone folder, very gently, because doilies are very thin and very delicate. Just squeezing that glue around to help that very fine doily stick down nicely. Okay, so then we have, now I'm not sure if this is going to work unless I've used my glue gun, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put my hole in the top first, okay, and set an eyelet. There we go, so that's that bit done. Then I've got a collection of fussy cuts here. And what we're going to do is we're going to use these straws. And now these I got very cheaply a long time ago from like Poundland or something like that. So we're going to put some straws on in varying lengths. So let me have a look. And I'm not necessarily going to cut them straight across. I'm going to cut them at an angle like that. Okay. So I'm just going to have staggered. So if I cut that one there, try not to cut myself with my snips because they're super sharp, these, and I regularly forget to move my fingers out of the way. Okay, and then another one, use them up like that, that one that way, and then we'll use the last one, we won't waste. And so I've got them in varying lengths. I might actually put that at that side. Yeah, okay, happy with that. So then you want to, and what you can do is you can just actually squash them flat. Squash them a little bit flat so that you've got a little bit of a gluing surface. Okay, oh, I've forgotten my lace. Hold on a minute, I want to put some lace on. I wanted to put some lace on here and I forgot. So I'm just having a look. So I'm going to cut it about there. Okay. And I've got this tatty top bit. I'm not bothered about that. But what I want is I want that scallop there all the way on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do a line of glue there. One down the middle and one at the far side. And hopefully that will suffice to just hold that in place. Okay. Without using hot glue. I don't like using hot glue on paper crafts. I don't know why. I think it can make it a bit hard, and I know it holds things fast, but I'm just not a massive fan of it. That's just me personally. And then I'm just going to trim it. Okay, at both sides. Okay, now I can start adding my straws on. So you'd put this maybe, you know, if you want it inside your journal, you'd maybe flatten the straws fuller with a bone folder. Okay. You'd flatten them completely flat. You're still going to get a little bit of dimension. Or it'd be really cool on the cover of a journal as well. I'm actually going to flatten mine. So I'm just crushing them a little bit. They're not completely flat. And we're just going to have these straws kind of staggered. Okay. You may need to wait for it to dry in between. Okay. You may need a little bit of patience. Something I do not have. Me and patience aren't friends. We're not close. Okay. Just leave that one going up. I'll just leave it there. I'm just gonna layer it there, I think. a bit of a press. Okay. And then my last one. Just going to squish it a bit so that I've got a bit of a flat side to add my glue onto. And you know, if you can't get the straws that are the colour you want, get some white ones and paint them. Or if you've got some that are gold or something like that, you know, you can change. If you don't have a colour that you like, you can change it with a bit of paint or just about anything. Okay, so then now what else do I want? Let's have a look. We want something decorative. That's quite pretty, that large flower. Okay, I wish I'd cut it out of cardstock. This is just printer paper. I would advise for this that you use lightweight cardstock. Okay, and now I'm going to attach that at the centre of those straws. You can still see them peeking out. Okay, you can still see the layers. And then we've got one of the labels. I just need to plan this bit now, because I think I might want to use another one of these little envelopes with the little butterfly. Depends how dimensional you want it, I suppose. Up there. And it looks nice there, doesn't it? I'm struggling with my disability, with my crafter's finger. Yeah, we're going to have it here. I'm going to have my label there. And then you could either just put one of these little butterflies, or shall I have the envelope? Have the envelope with that in. No, it doesn't show. It doesn't show up. Shall we have a circle and a butterfly? That looks quite nice, doesn't it? Circle and a butterfly, or envelope and a butterfly? What do you think? I think I'll use the circle. The reason being, if you want to make this and you're using my kit, you don't have the envelope, but you do have the circle and you do have the butterfly. So let's go with those. More glue on that. And we're just going to stick that. I think I'm going to need it a bit further over. There. Okay. Just a little bit over so I can see that ticket. And then my butterfly, I'm going to just glue just the back where the body would be, so that it's kind of 3D. You know, so and just bend its wings like that. Okay, let me have a look. Have I got room for that word? So if I put my butterfly towards the top side of my circle, or shall I put this up here? No, we'll put the butterfly in the middle. Just popping the wings up. A good way to make sure your wings stay up, if you want them up, is to just pop a little foam dot underneath. Okay, tiny little foam dot. And then our word is going to go up here, I think. I think that looks really cute. So, you know, people that have been crafting a long time, this is nothing new to them. But if you want to, you know, if you're new and you want to see how to maybe step things up a little bit, you could maybe add some glitter glue to the leaves. So there's 3 ways from just that simple bookmark, stroke, skinny tag shape. So I've got stuff stuck to me, plaster. So there's the simple way with just a little dangle. Then that's the second way, where we made the little, used the belly band, cut it in half to make a little tuck, and we've got the little tag inside. And then here is a more stepped up way. Could maybe add some pretty lace on the bottom as well. No, I don't really like that. I don't have one to hand that I like, but I might do. Or you could use a border punch to punch a fancy edge in the bottom of there. A fancy edge. So there you go. There's 3 different ideas. Easy, medium, slightly more stepped up. I hope that gives you some ideas of what you can do and how, if you layer up some of these embellishments, you're going to get some fantastically pretty little ideas. Thanks for watching. Take care. Do you think I need to go to A&E? Oh, I think I'll live. Bye for now.